If standing up from a chair feels harder than it used to, it's not just age. Your muscles may be starving, but not for protein. After 60, research shows the real missing piece is a mineral nearly every senior is low in. And the results are striking. In just 12 weeks, restoring it helped older adults walk faster, grip stronger, and feel steadier on their feet. The surprising part? More protein won't fix this, but magnesium can. And today, I'll show you how to use it safely, before weakness quietly steals your independence. If you've tried protein shakes, eggs, or powders but still feel weaker each year, you're not alone. Muscle decline after 60 isn't only about diet. It's about the silent loss of magnesium, the mineral switch that decides whether your muscles rebuild or slowly waste away. In my 25 years working with seniors, I've seen strength, balance, and even confidence return, not from more protein, but from correcting this one deficiency. And this matters because it's not just about muscles, it's about staying steady on your feet, living independently, and keeping the freedom you've earned. 1. Magnesium, the master key to muscle energy. When you think about building strength, most people picture protein shakes or gym routines. But inside your body, the real story is about energy. Every muscle contraction, every time you rise from a chair, lift a bag of groceries, or climb a stair, depends on a molecule called ATP. Think of ATP as the electricity that powers your muscle engines. And here's the key. Magnesium is the spark plug that allows your body to make that electricity. Without enough magnesium, the lights in your muscle power plant start to flicker. That's when everyday movements begin feeling heavier, slower, and more exhausting than they should. A large study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 14,000 older adults. It found that seniors with higher magnesium intake had 4.6% more fat-free mass in men and 6.3% more in women compared to those with low intake. That difference is the equivalent of years of muscle decline reversed, simply by supplying the body with the mineral it was missing. So, what does this look like in real life? Frank, one of my patients aged 68, dreaded stairs. He told me, "Doc, halfway up, my thighs are burning. I feel like I'm 90. We adjusted his routine, 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate in the morning, 100 milligrams in the evening, taken with meals for better absorption. Within 3 months, he reported something remarkable. Climbing stairs no longer felt like dragging weights on his legs. The burn was gone. The strength was back. But that's not the surprising part. The way magnesium interacts with your stress hormones may matter just as much as the energy it creates. And that's where most seniors get it wrong. 2 magnesium versus cortisol. Breaking the stress. Muscle loss. Cycle. Now, energy isn't the only reason muscles weaken after 60. There's another hidden thief, cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. Cortisol is useful in short bursts. It wakes you up in the morning, sharpens focus when you need it. But when it stays high all day and all night, it begins to quietly break down muscle tissue. Think of cortisol like a floodlight stuck on in your house. At first, it's helpful, but left on, it burns out the wiring, wastes energy, and leaves your system drained. This is exactly what happens inside your muscles when cortisol doesn't shut off. Here's where magnesium becomes so powerful. A randomized trial in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences followed seniors supplementing with 300 milligrams of magnesium for just 8 weeks. The results? Their cortisol dropped by 40%. At the same time, melatonin, the sleep hormone, increased by 35%. Lower stress, deeper rest, and more recovery time for muscles to repair. Mary, age 72, knows this firsthand. She cares for her husband, often sleeping lightly, waking often. She told me, "I felt like my body never turned off." We introduced magnesium glycinate, 300 milligrams in the evening with a small snack. Within 2 months, her sleep deepened, her mornings felt calmer, and most importantly, her strength training sessions no longer left her sore for days. She said, "It feels like my body finally learned how to rest again." Here's the real risk: miss this step, and even with enough protein and exercise, your body stays in breakdown mode. Without lowering cortisol, your muscles never get the chance to heal. So magnesium doesn't just feed your energy, it turns down the floodlight of stress, so repair can finally begin. And in a moment, we'll look at how it also shields your muscles from silent inflammation, the rust of aging that weakens tissue over time. Have you ever noticed you feel more sore after stress than after exercise? Tell me in the comments. I read them all. 3. Fighting inflammation and preserving muscle. Energy and stress are 2 pieces of the puzzle, but there's a third, more silent thread: inflammation. As we age, our bodies often carry higher levels of inflammatory molecules like interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These chemicals slowly chip away at muscle fibers, just like rust eats through metal over time. You don't notice it at first, but one day standing from a chair or carrying groceries suddenly feels heavier than it used to. That's where magnesium shows its quiet power. A study in BMC Geriatrics in 2022 followed older adults and found that every single milligram increase in daily magnesium reduced the odds of sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, by 0.3%. In plain terms, the more magnesium they consumed, the more protection their muscles gained. It's a dose-response effect, meaning your effort pays off directly. Here's how this translates into everyday choices. Instead of a nighttime cookie or processed snack, swap in a handful of pumpkin seeds, a small bowl of spinach sautéed in olive oil, or a few almonds. These foods are naturally rich in magnesium, and when paired with supplementation, they create a steady defense line against muscle rust. Helen, 70, made that exact shift. She told me, "I thought cookies were harmless at night, but after switching to pumpkin seeds, I noticed my joints weren't as stiff in the mornings, and when I squeezed my grandson's hand, he laughed and said, 'Grandma, you're stronger than me.' That simple smile was all the proof she needed. Your inflammation clock resets right here. And in a moment, I'll show you why even the right foods may not be enough, because after 60, your body absorbs magnesium differently, and the wrong form could leave you running on empty. 4. The absorption trap. After 60. Now, even if you add magnesium-rich foods and the right daily dose, there's a hidden challenge most seniors don't know about: absorption. After 60, your stomach produces less acid. That means your ability to pull magnesium out of food drops by nearly 30%. At the same time, kidney function often declines, causing more magnesium to be lost through urine. It's like pouring water into a bucket with holes. You think you're filling it, but most of it slips away. That's why the form of magnesium matters so much. In the Epic Norfolk study, researchers noted seniors who relied on poorly absorbed types, like magnesium oxide, barely raised their levels at all. Magnesium oxide has only about 4% absorption, and often causes stomach upset. By contrast, magnesium glycinate, a chelated form, offers up to 80% absorption, and is far gentler on aging digestion. George, 74, experienced this firsthand. He took the cheapest supplement from his pharmacy shelf for years, convinced it was helping. But his strength and energy never improved. His doctor finally recommended switching to magnesium glycinate, split into 2 doses, morning and evening. Within weeks, his leg cramps eased, his walking steadied, and for the first time, his blood tests showed magnesium levels climbing. "I wish someone had told me earlier," he said. This is where most seniors get it wrong. They focus on the how much, but not the which kind. And without the right form, all your effort may never reach your muscles. But here's where the science flips the script, because what most people believe about protein alone preventing muscle loss simply isn't true. Let's clear up that myth next. Your muscles aren't fading because of age alone. They're waiting for the right spark to fire again. And magnesium may be that spark. It fuels your energy, calms stress, shields against inflammation, and even absorbs better when you choose the right form. This isn't just about numbers on a lab test. It's about standing up from a chair without fear, about climbing stairs with confidence, about holding your grandchild's hand and feeling strong enough to lift them high. Independence isn't lost overnight. It slips away silently. But the good news is you have more control than you think. So I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried magnesium for sleep, for energy, or for muscle strength? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help another senior find hope. And if this video helped you, a simple like means the world to me and helps more seniors discover these science-backed solutions. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Aging Hub. Each week, I share practical, evidence-based ways to protect your strength, your memory, and your independence, so you can live not just longer, but stronger.